Today, I really wanted to talk about stress and anxiety because April is Stress Awareness Month. And thinking about that, I thought I want to just put in a few words, perhaps a few tips for you that might help you if you are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and perhaps even anxious. And you might think, okay, what's the difference between stress and anxiety? How do I know? How do I know the difference? We can say that stress is more about external pressures, external stressors, such as it could be exam period coming up or a presentation at work, or you might have perhaps a project that you need to finish, but at the same time, you got to get the kids from school or take them to school or both. And you have got guests coming over the weekend and you have no idea what you're going to cook. So you're multitasking and it's just becoming all a bit too much to handle. And another thing that might cause stress is if you're not able to say no. If you have already quite a lot of workload and people are coming with more to you and you're finding it really difficult to say I can't, or no, I just simply won't be able to take that on. Some of us find that difficult to say no. And then as a result, of course, that your needs are are going down in the priority list, right? And you end up not looking after yourself, not doing any self-care, not connecting with your loved ones. The home life and work-life balance is not quite balanced, and perhaps your values are not quite aligned either. And then we start feeling that stress and the overwhelm. And it sounds like there is quite a lot of us in this situation because Gallup has made a survey and it showed that 44% of the people have experienced stress at work or are experiencing stress at workplace, and they're feeling stressed in general, which means that half of the workforce, half of the people working, almost half of the people are stressed. Now, prolonged stress, so if we look at the difference, prolonged stress then can cause anxiety. What is anxiety? What's the difference? Anxiety is more about internal worries. When we start thinking about what might happen in the future and catastrophize. What if I make mistakes? What if I lose my job? What if something goes wrong in this job interview? What if someone I love has an accident? What if I lose this person? So it's a lot of what if orientated, and it's very internal anxiety, but it still triggers the same system, so our fight or flight system. And when we get anxious, we then start feeling perhaps a bit shaky, our heart starts racing, we have the sympathetic system online because the brain thinks that we are actually in real danger, even though the danger is only predicted in our mind and it's in the future. The brain perceives that as here and now, and set of hormones are set off and adrenaline rushed into our body, which then makes us shaky, hot and sweaty, You might feel a bit wobbly. Oh, the stomach definitely. Most of us do feel that in our stomach because the blood is taken away from the digestive system and sent to your muscles to fight or flight. That's amazing, isn't it? And when that happens, it's an involuntary um, system. So you can't actually turn it on and off like that. Or rather, you can take control of turning it off, but turning it on is not exactly in your control. When the brain perceives something bad might happen, some threat, whether it's in our mind or whether it's outside, fight or flight is online. But when you are then aware of that, when you become aware of that, you can use, most importantly, your breathing to take control of your body and your mind. And one of the great breathing techniques is called square breathing. So square breathing is about breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and again holding for 4. So we will practice that in a moment, but I really want to kind of ask you how do you experience stress? What happens for you? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you lose focus? Do you get snappy? Do you get sad? Do you withdraw from social connections? And do you feel like you can't cope? It's all becoming too much. I won't be able to cope. So how do you experience stress and anxiety? I really would like you to share that with me in the comments. So going back to just a little tip for you to be able to take control and reduce that anxiety in your body, the symptoms of anxiety, physical symptoms in your body. Make sure that you breathe firstly into your diaphragm. So you should be able to breathe into your tummy, breathe into your stomach. So feel that as you breathe in rather than your chest, which is shallow breathing, and your body will not get the full benefits of that breath, of that air. So, and that breath is really important. It's your life source, isn't it? And yet many of us, we don't really get the full benefits of our breathing. So whenever you feel that you are worried about something and you're getting anxious or you're very stressed, take a step back. Just take a step back. If you like, just leave the place. If it's about an email, just get up and just go and make yourself a cup of tea or coffee, or just get some fresh air. Go for a walk for a few minutes, for 10 minutes. Okay. In the meanwhile, use your breathing. So we breathe in all the way down to our diaphragm. Hold 2, 3, 4. And we breathe out for 4. And then just empty, hold for 4. Making a square with your breath. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in again. And hold 2, 3, 4. And breathe out. Hold 2, 3, 4. Do this 3-4 times every day, whether you need it or not, because then your body gets used to it. And whenever you feel stressed or anxious, you can tap into that much quicker. just share with me how you experience stress and anxiety, and how does that make you feel in your everyday life, and how do you cope with it? What do you do to cope with it? And how is it helping? So I hope you found this helpful, and I wish you all a wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now.